this is Isabelle Litzler, Pléiade HC, the place to be to develop your skills and grow your potential. So today's video is about how to ace your job interview. This is something that is quite important. Before you get this job offer, you need to do a good job in the job interview, and this is something that a lot of people struggle with because questions might be different than what you expect, etc., etc. So there's really a way, in my view, to ace a job interview, and that's called preparation. It's going to be difficult to do a good job interview if you haven't done one in a while when you go to that interview on that day when you have the appointment. So preparation is really key. So in my view, there's preparation before, during, and after. Those are the 3 steps that I will talk about today. So before the job interview, why? Because if you don't know anything about the company, if you go there and you have no clue what's going on, it's going to be tough to perform. So you should gather as much information as possible about the employer, about the recruiter if you can. And now with LinkedIn, you quickly have access to people's information, you know, where they worked, etc. So there's really no excuse not to be prepared nowadays for an interview. So number 1 is prepare before the interview. Learn about the company, learn about their objectives, what it is that they're trying to do in general. And then figure out also how to get there on time, of course, the day of the interview. Now it leads me to step number 2, is what do you do during the interview? So during the interview, you should talk about what's important to the company. So it's not really so much about what you know. And I know that's the mistake also people make all the time. They think because they have a great degree, you know, from a great school, they should talk about it, or they work for these big companies. Well, it's great, but it doesn't do anything for me. If I'm looking for someone who can solve my problem, I don't really care that you went to a big Ivy League school in 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. I want someone who can solve my problem. And this is something that really I want people to understand. And when I do sessions, individual sessions with individuals, I really try to convey that message, which is really the difference between someone who will get the job and someone who won't. Most of the time when I listen to individuals, when they talk about their career or their experience, or they do a mini version of their resume, they only talk about themselves, how great they are, you know, they've got this education and they achieved, you know, this experience and so forth. This is great for your ego, but it's not going to do much for the person in front of you. How is that relevant to me? You know, that you graduated from a school, you know, at 21 and you have 10 years of experience with a big company. Great for you. But my problem right now is that I need someone who can put together a new accounting system. Can you do this or not? And this is just an example, of course. But you know, that's how you should look at an interview. It's not so much about telling about all your degrees and all your experiences and putting me to sleep with that. It's really more about understanding my problem. So having done a great job at identifying what I need and bringing me a solution. And then trust me, you will get a job offer. So again, if there's one message for this video is prepare yourself, understand what the company's problems or you know, what it is that they're looking for, what type of what is the main thing they're looking for by recruiting this position, you know, what type of person are they looking for. And then after the interview, make sure you send a thank you note. So that's the 3rd step. So remember, first step is prepare yourself. Second step, perform during the interview, understand the problem. And step number 3 is always after an interview, send a thank you note to the individuals. If there's more than one, send a thank you note by email. If you only have one card, one business card, send a thank you note to the individual that gave you the card. But at least you're showing that you really appreciate people's time. It was important to you. And it's also an opportunity, again, to mention that you're really motivated. So these are the 3 steps. Number 1, prepare yourself. Number 2, understand the people's problems and what it is that they're trying to do with this job opening. And number 3 is always thank people for their time and reassess what you're looking for and why you're a good match. So I hope this was helpful. Feel free to comment. Book me one-to-one as well on my website, pleiadehc.com. It's under the on-demand services. I do a lot of things, of course, one-to-one sessions, also resumes, preparation for interviews, again, this is an investment that can really make the difference between getting a job or not getting a job. So I talk to you soon. Thanks.